Hey everyone, this is Steven, doing my deck profile now, trying to abuse the newest structure deck, Saga of Blue-Eyes. As you've been following us on YouTube, you know that we've done two videos so far on this structure deck. Part one was about me and my friend Jeff going over the structure deck card by card, some strategies and tips on how to use it. And then part two was Jeff's deck profile using Heretics. Now, I don't actually own each of these cards, so I'm just going to do mine over Dueling Network. And that's actually where we're going to have our feature match, which will be part 4 of the series. So I hope you're all looking forward to that as much as I am. So let's get right to it. And I do have a message from my friend Billy, but I'll talk to him later. Anyway, let's get to this. Alright, so 3 Blue-Eyes White Dragons, obviously. If you want to abuse them, you gotta run 3. I'm also running 3 Maiden with Blue Eyes, or Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Again, if you want to know how to abuse her, watch our video over the structure deck. We go over all the different strategies and tips with her. Obviously, though, you'll run 3 with any type of build using Blue Eyes. And then what's different from my build than from Jeff's is he was trying to use Heretics. I'm using Malefics because I want to use Black Luster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, Chaos Sorcerer, and Dark Armed Dragon. I think that's still really powerful and really good for this format, and so I needed some Dark Dragons to really try to abuse them, and of course the first thing that came to mind was Malefics. So we'll go more into the strategies with them later, but right now that's the main reason why they're in there. The next card is Eclipse Raven, kind of randomly thrown in there. I really just need another light 4-star dragon type monster, and his ability is really good. When he's sent to the graveyard, I can banish 1 level 7 or higher light or dark monster from my deck, so that means I can do Dark Armed Dragon, my Malefics, or most preferably Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon. He also, when he's removed from the game, I get to add that target back to my hand. So if I want my Malefic Stardust, I can just send that and then bounce it right back. So there's a lot of combos, but mostly he's meant to search out for Red Ice, Darkness Metal Dragon. There's also an Honest, obviously, just to give me the boost I need to get over monsters and help me kill the opponent. Now, before I go into Malefic Blue Eyes, I played 2 White Stones of Legends, which a lot of people might find odd because White Stone of Legend is such a good, useful card for Blue Eyes. It really is amazing. We go into it a lot with the video. But for this build, I only want to run 2. And the reason why is because the effect is mandatory. I have to add 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from my deck to my hand when he's sent to the graveyard. So with running Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon, I actually want the Blue Eyes in my deck. So one thing you might notice in our feature match is when I use Maiden with Eyes of Blue, I'll probably try to pull Blue Eyes from my hand or graveyard before I pull them from the deck. Because Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon can only be special summoned by removing from play 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from my deck. So I really need those Blue Eyes in there, otherwise it's not going to be as playable. And with that in mind, I'm only running 2 of them for consistency reasons. But he's also really good as fodder for Black Luster Soldier, Chaos Sorcerer, and Dark Armed Dragon, and he's also good for using with trade-in. So there are a lot of pluses with him. Plus, I mean, he's just a free special summoning monster if you have Blue Eyes in your deck. And also, when Blue Eyes is removed from the game, you can still get him back later on using things like Castle of Dragon Souls or Return from the Fifth Dimension, which we'll go more into later. So then we have 3 Malefic Stardust Dragons. I'm not going to be synchro summoning for Stardust, let's be honest. So I might as well just run the Malefic version and protect my field spell. Prime Material Dragon. Now, I threw this in here because I'm mostly concerned about stall decks. There's a lot of them running around right now, and he's great against them. I know Jeff doesn't have anything like that, but I didn't want to build a deck specifically against Jeff's. I kind of wanted to build it like how I would build it. He also has a great protection effect. Discard 1 card to protect your monsters if they would be destroyed by destruction effect. Not to mention he's just another light dragon, 6 stars, so great for synchro summoning for the 7s. I mean, he really is just overall good. I mean, I'd be willing to tribute summon him by tributing a Malefic Stardust Dragon. So it's nice to have another monster that could protect my other monsters besides just the synchro monster. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, obvious staple for all dragon decks. Now, Wingbeat of Giant Dragon is a very exciting card. With Heavy Storm banned, this card replaces that, and with how easily dragon monsters can self-special summon, it can be really abusable. So, you return one level 5 or higher dragon type monster to your hand, destroy all spells and trap cards in the field. So one combo I thought of was, if I have 3 Darks in my graveyard and Dark Arm Dragon in hand, I can special summon him, bounce him back, Wingbeat of Giant Dragon, kill all the spells and traps, and then special summon him. It's kind of messy, it's not as easy as it was with just Heavy Storm, but it gets the job done, and it's basically Heavy Storm just in a different form. It's also really good for Castle of Dragon Souls, because my opponent's obviously not going to MST it, so I can use this to destroy it myself if I need to. Dragon Ravine, really good for controlling your graveyard. Put in there what you want to put in there. It's also good for getting out Whitestone of Legend, the Eclipse Raven, and just overall filling up your graveyard with darks and whatever else you need. So I run 3 of those because I'm running 5 Malefics. I'm also running 1 Dragon Shrine, which is the Foolish Burial for dragon monsters. Very good. I actually would run less Dragon's Ravines if I thought I could get away with it, but I really like having 3 of them in there just for the controlling the graveyard's sake. Otherwise, I would run more Dragon Shrines. Scapegoats, now it's kind of random. Scapegoats is finally at 3. It hasn't been that way in years, and I love that they did that. So I just kind of threw in 2 just to kind of abuse it. But also really good though for anti-OTKs. If your opponent destroys all your monsters, you can activate this during the battle phase and stop them from killing you. And frankly, they're just good at absorbing damage overall. Plus, if you need to synchro summon with a few random synchro monsters, they're great for that as well. So that's a lot of fun. Terraforming, you simply add any of the field spell cards to your hand. Seal Void Calcos, this has a lot of pluses and minuses to it. So at first it might seem like a bad idea because when you first activate it, you destroy all your special summon monsters currently on the field. And this deck does a lot of special summoning, so that seems painful. But if you can special summon Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, which protects all your dragons from being destroyed by card effects, then activate Seal Void Calcos, all your dragons will be safe. So really, that negates that one downside. Plus, with all your monsters gaining 500 attack, they're going to be really hard to kill, especially since dragons already start off with so much attack as is. The other downside is you can no longer use your extra deck while it's on the field, which is really no big deal. I'm counting on Dark Arm Dragon, Black Luster Soldier, and the Malefics to really replace me having to use my extra deck. So that's pretty cool. Trade in, run 3. Everything in my deck has 8 stars in it, so why not? Call the Haunted. Great card. Allows me to special summon back any monster from my graveyard except for Malefic, Stardust Dragon, and Dark Arm Dragon. The nice thing about Malefic Blue-Eyes is you can special summon him from your graveyard if you special summon him properly the first time. Same is true for Black Luster Soldier and Chaos Sorcerer. Castle of Dragon Souls, very versatile card in the deck. It allows me to manipulate my graveyard so I can bring out Dark Arm Dragon. It also allows me to recycle my Malefics. So if I special summon Malefic properly the first time, and he's sent to the graveyard, and I remove him, then Castle Dragon Souls gets destroyed, I get my Malefic Blue-Eyes back to the field. So really great combo. A lot of people won't be expecting it. So obviously I run 3 of them. Mirror Force. I throw in a random Mirror Force because I want my opponents to be nervous about sitting on the MSTs and not using it. So this kind of forces them to start blindly MSTing my face down cards before attacking. So my Castle Dragon Souls have a better chance of being destroyed, and if they choose not to, then I have a chance of using Mirror Force. So really it's a win-win to me, unless they get lucky enough to where they're always popping the Mirror Force, which does happen. Return from a Different Dimension. Great finisher card. Get back everything I removed. This deck does so much removing. It's just a really good card. Solemn Warning. It stops them from exploding. It stops OTKs. And also, again, it forces them to start using MST blindly. And so really, the MST thing, Mystical Space Typhoon, if you don't know the abbreviation, your opponents, they're going to be tricky with it. They're going to try to pop the field spell. They're going to try to pop your face downs, maybe in game 2, because game 1 they're probably assuming you don't have these face down. They probably are going to be counting on you playing Castle of Dragon Souls as soon as they see the blue eyes. But game 2, if they see the Mirror Forces on 1, of course, that's when you're going to be really having control over the game. So, my extra deck, Alidress's Cataster, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Ancient Sacred Raven. Now this is the card that Jeff was talking about at the end of his deck profile with the OTK. Now I wasn't thinking of that when I built this. I just thought it was a really powerful synchro monster, and I still think I'm right to think that way. I can easily bring him out with Prime Material Dragon and any of my light tuners. It's just a really good card. 3 of the Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. As Jeff pointed out, some people run 2. I like 3 because I was running 2, but every time I brought out my second one, I was nervous about losing him. And so by running 3, I'm now more confident about bringing out that second one whenever I want to, so I can always bring out a third. Black Rose Dragon, obvious. Star Eater, Great Beater. 3 Stardust Dragons for the 3 Malefic Stardust. Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder. Jeff already explained, it's really great. Exceed. Thunder End Dragon. I don't think he mentioned this one. It's basically a dark hole, except he gets to stay on the field. And with 3 blue eyes so easily brought to the field, it's going to be really easy to bring out, so he basically is my dark hole. And what's really cool is if you can bring out the blue eyes synchro monster and him in the same turn, then all your dragons will be safe, and he'll basically just be a Regeki. Number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. A great rank 8. It gets over Marshmallow and Spirit Reaper. If your opponent tries to do anything during the battle phase, he's going to get stronger. There's just a lot of pluses to him. No reason why not to. One other synchro monster I was thinking about adding in here, but I didn't find the space. So if I had to, I probably would replace the one of the Star Eaters or Ancient Fairy Dragon is Formula Synchron. He's a 2-star synchro monster that allows you to draw 1 card as soon as he's summoned to the field, and he's still a tuner. So I could go Maiden, Scapegoat, bring out him, get a free draw, and then continue whatever synchro summoning I was going to do originally. The only problem with that is that I'll be usually going for Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, which is probably the only case where you can't really do that. Or the other 7 stars, frankly, when you're trying to combine it with like Prime Material Dragon. So I didn't throw them in there because I didn't know how often I'd really be using it. I guess I should have had one just in case. But overall, I'm really happy with what I have. Now the last thing you might notice missing is a side deck. We kind of agreed not to do side decks because side decking in mirror matches is really stupid and lame, especially when you're recording it. So we're just not going to do it at all. But if I had to build a side deck, I would probably put in like Compulse and Bottomless to stop Evil Swarm Orpheon, which would really shut down the deck. I'd probably also try to do something against Mermails if possible and the Elemental Dragons. Really just look at what other people are doing against those decks. Just keep in mind you cannot use Light Imprisoning Mirror or Shadow Imprisoning Mirror with this build. It'd just be shooting yourself in the foot. Which is kind of a shame because Evil Swarms against Stellas really hate those cards. So it'd be pretty hard to build a side deck for this deck. But we're not going to worry about that. So I hope you all enjoy the feature match. We'll be uploading that either tomorrow or Thursday or so. It should be really exciting to see who will win. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So, see you guys next time.